I'm Jackie and thanks for clicking on today's video. This is my channel, Heart Than Apron, where I like to give you all kinds of creative homemaking motivation. Today's video is going to be all about Valentine's Day because I'm going to be adding some soft romantic touches to my master bedroom. I'm also going to share making a DIY that was very messy but fun, my first homemade candles. And at the end, we're also going to be baking up a sweet Valentine's Day treat. So make sure to stay tuned. If you haven't already done so, please consider hitting that subscription button down below. I'd love to have you part of my YouTube family. And don't forget to say hi guys and let me know what you guys are up to. I'd love to chat with you down below. Anyways though, let's go ahead and get the fun rolling. Okay, so we are going to start out this episode by making our own DIY scented beeswax candles. Now, I've never done this before. I've never actually even made a candle before. This was just something that in the middle of the night I was like sold on. I was like, yeah, I'm going to make my own candles. I've got this fragrance oil that I've had for years, needs to be used up, and I just kind of became sold on this idea that I was going to make my own candles. Now, as I have come through in this project, I have found that it has become more and more complex than I originally realized it was going to be. I originally thought that I'd just go to like dollar store or Walmart, pick up some cheap candles, chop them up into pieces, melt them down, throw them in some jars, voila. First and foremost, what the heck was I intending to melt them down in? Like, I really didn't think this through. So I went to Amazon and for $10 I found this cute little set that has a little pot, a stirring spoon. It also came with like these little things to hold your wicks still, really short wicks that are not gonna work for us today, as well as some things to hold those wicks in place. And I have no idea how this is going to turn out. Like, I've really looked up some tips online, but I think this is going to be cute. And when I started to like look into this, I realized that probably buying paraffin cheap candles and melting them down, adding scent and then melting them again as I burn them, probably wasn't the healthiest way to make a candle. So then I started doing research and I decided, okay, beeswax candles, this sounds fun. Then I can use this to make lip balm, paw balm, and everything else in the future. So that is what we're going to attempt to do. As I said, this is completely new to me. This could be a total tremendous fail. Make sure to stay tuned to see how it turns out.
So these are the jars that we're going to be using. I picked them up at Dollar Tree and I wanted to give them some kind of a romantic, personalized touch. So I decided to pull out my folk art enamels and my husband and I are going to use our fingerprints to create little hearts on each one of these candles. Now, unfortunately, I don't have my husband's footage of putting his fingerprint on. I did make him record it. I don't know what I did with the footage. My bad, guys. But once I get these fingerprints on, we are going to put them into the oven while it is cool and let it warm up to 350 degrees and cook for 30 minutes. After that, these little fingerprints should stay here for years to come.
Waiting at the doorstep, finally home. I've been gone for too long.
So our candle jars are all cool now. I think they turned out really cute and I absolutely love that they're actually the thumbprints for mine and my husband's. It kind of gives them that romantic, extra lovey feel. That's exactly what I'm wanting for my room this year. Now, we are going to go ahead and put some wicks in the center of these. You can either do this using a hot glue gun or I was sent some little things that are supposed to keep them in place. We're going to go ahead and give them a try this time, but it's very important that you actually make sure that that wick sticks down. Otherwise, that hot wax is going to go in there, it's going to roll everywhere, at least according to all of the online articles I read. Now, after those wicks are put inside, we are going to turn on the oven to 100 degrees, and I am going to put these into a pan and put them into the oven until we're ready to use them. This is not something that I saw in tips online. This is something that kind of is from some of my own personal experience, and I just want to make sure that my glass doesn't break when I put in that hot wax. When I was a little kid, I thought that I would be so cool. I'd make my family homemade tapioca, and I had it all the way done, and I thought that I'd put it into this beautiful glass dish, put it into the fridge, and then when everybody got home, they'd be so excited because I made dessert. And when I put the hot tapioca into the glass bowl, it exploded everywhere. So there was hot, boiling tapioca all over my parents' stove, all over the kitchen. What I thought was going to be a really nice gesture ended up becoming a nightmare. For me, my parents, for the whole, because they of course showed up right then as I'm trying to clean up all this tapioca that's just like everywhere, and I have to explain why their glass bowl is broken. So now, when I am going to do something where I'm pouring a hot liquid into glass, I'm always super careful. So how I'm going to attempt to make sure that my glass doesn't break when I pour in that hot wax is put it into the oven at 100 degrees until we're ready. Let's see if it helps. Also, quick note, you will notice that my hair is up in a bun, and that is because I would be absolutely devastated if my hair pulled a dipstick and like went into candle wax and like I had to cut it. So For the rest of this time period, I'm just gonna leave the hair up and we'll take it back down for the rest of the fun.
So quick adaptation to what I just said. I had mentioned that I was going to try and turn my oven on to 100 degrees. Normally when I'm doing a craft of this kind, I warm my things up to 200 degrees, but because I knew my wax wasn't going to be quite that hot, I thought I'd choose a lower temperature. Well, it turns out my oven doesn't go that cool. So we're actually going to be having these glasses warmed up to 170 degrees until it is time for this wax to be added.
Gotta stay here for some time.
Now it is time for us to officially make the candles. We're going to place our double boiler little pot inside of a normal pot here with about 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch of water. Now I've seen where people say to add more water, but the person that I had actually read the article from said that they had found this was the best for beeswax. So this is what I decided to do. And anyways, they also suggested to put 1/4 cup of coconut oil to 1 pound of beeswax so that it would burn better when you're actually working with the candle. So I went ahead and added 1/4 cup of coconut oil and 1 pound of beeswax. It actually wasn't quite as much as I needed, but it still worked out absolutely perfect. I suggest putting it in a little bit at a time and continuing to mix it in, because I put so much beeswax in at first that there was no way that I wasn't going to get it into my pot. That's another thing. I would suggest using a pot that you don't care about, because my poor pot. I still have not figured out how I'm fixing it, but I have not given up on it. But I got wax everywhere inside of it, and it is going to need some serious help. Well, when you're working with this wax, you are going to continue stirring it periodically and letting it melt down to 170 to 175 degrees. After that is done, you turn that heat off immediately, and it's time to start the cooling process. And it's important to let it cool in this little bath water too, because then I guess it helps to keep from tunneling inside of your candles as well as other problems, according to this article. So we are going to let it cool down to about 160 degrees, and then we are going to add our scented oil, stir that up really well, and then continue to let it cool till it gets to about 155 to 150 degrees, and then it is time to pour these candles into our candle holders and let them sit until the next day.
To let go. Sometimes I just don't know what to do. It should have been you. I could be driving to your place, but now the ground is shaking. Could be a phase, but it feels like it will never go away until we make up. I can't be myself. I never knew how much I needed you. It should have been you. Another time, another place, I just know. It could have been you. What a crime and what a shame to let you go. Sometimes I just don't know what to do, 'cause it should have been you.
Alright, so our candles are set out to cool, and I actually read online that you want to make sure that it cools all the way before you cut your wick. So I may or may not do that on the camera tonight, depending on how much time we have, but I will put them in the spot that I have intended, and I'd love to know what you think. Please, I would love to hear all of your thoughts on this candle adventure. It was so messy. Oh my goodness. You guys, oh, my pan. This isn't over. I will fix that pan. It is a quest now. But if you're going to do this at home, I totally recommend buying a really cheap skillet that you're not going to be upset with, because I could not help getting the wax into the pan. I'm still really excited though, and actually the scent that I used in it was something that was really special. It was one of my favorite candles that I used to have for my bedroom. It was from this company called Gold Canyon that went out of business when COVID happened. And I had this fragrance oil that's just been sitting there for years. And when I was sitting there missing that lavender chamomile scent from Gold Canyon, I looked over, saw the fragrance oil, and I was like, let's let it live again. So I can't wait to see how they burn. And either way, I'm just so excited that I got to try this new adventure with you. Now after this, I picked up some flowers from Michael's online. I had them shipped to me, and they were really defective. They were covered in this weird black stuff. And I live about 3 hours away from a Michael's, so there was no way that I could take them back and have them replaced. So I tried washing them off, no dice. So we're just gonna basically cut off the petals and see if we can make some beautiful bouquets with that and some other flowers for my bedroom, because that is where we will be heading next. Because I love to add Valentine's Day decor to my bedroom. As I told you guys last time, it is a special holiday to me. It is the anniversary of my husband and my first date. So if I'm gonna be decorating anywhere, of course it's the bedroom. Especially for Valentine's Day, it's like the ultimate date, right? And so we're gonna be adding some pink and white touches to that space, and I hope you absolutely love it. Please let me know what you think down below. Wait, I almost forgot to tell you. Make sure to stay tuned after we do that Valentine's Day decor in the bedroom, because I also found an amazing looking cookie treat that I want to try out with you guys. I saw it on Pinterest and I am so excited to try this new recipe. So make sure you stay tuned, and of course, we will be giving it a Valentine's Day twist.
Think these scars about to mend. No matter where I lay my head, another town, another bed. No matter what I do, I'm still gonna be dreaming of you. No matter who I try to love, it's always you I'm thinking of. No matter what I do, I'm still gonna be dreaming of you. Nobody got the magic touch, how you make my heart rush. Why is that so hard to find? Nothing better than your kiss, something that I can't resist. Can't forget the nights you were mine. Oh, no, no. Oh, no, no. Still gonna be dreaming of you. No matter where I lay my head, another town, another bed. And no matter what I do, I'm still gonna be dreaming of you. No matter who I try to love, it's always you I'm thinking of. No matter what I do, I'm still gonna be dreaming of you. No, no, no. Yeah, yeah. I'm still gonna be dreaming of you. Tick tock, the clock keeps ticking. I don't know what I should do, and I wish you would be right here with me. My mind is filled with pictures of when we used to.
Alright, so the bed is made. As you can see, I've actually moved this blanket up, and this is honestly how you see this blanket in my house most of the time. And that is because while I absolutely love to have a blanket on the bottom and have it look all cute, it's 95% there for function, to help keep paw prints off of my bed. That's how I can have all of my lovely fur babies and still manage to have my beautiful white blanket that makes me feel like I'm laying in a cloud. But anyways though, let's go ahead and bring in the rest of our decor so that we can finish up this area and get going. Okay, so I've got everything that we're going to be using in the room right back behind me on the bed. I'm going to really quickly show you what some of the stuff is, and then we are going to go ahead and put it up. You guys have probably seen these two signs before. They are ones that I had made in the past for my bedroom. I feel like they go really well with that romantic Valentine's Day feel, as well as just the energy that I like to have in my room. This one says, "You have bewitched me body and soul." And this one says, "Completely, perfectly, and incandescently happy." And they are both from Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice. This is from the movie that came out in like the 2000s and sometime, but this is actually a quote from the book. So these are going to be some linens for over in my little sitting area where I like to have coffee. I have these two cute little pine trees that are left over from the holidays, but I thought they kind of gave just a simple enough wintry vibe that they would work out right now. These are the yarn hearts that I made in one of my previous DIY episodes. If you guys want to see how to make them, as well as these two signs, I will have them linked in the description. This is just supposed to be a little lit garland that I picked up at Dollar Tree, and I thought that we might be able to use that in my tiered tray. These are the candles we made. And see, they kind of go in a little bit, but you know what? I think first candle thing, that they worked out really great. Fun. Enough talking. Let's go ahead and put the rest of this up.
What I should do, I wish you would be right here with me. I'm thinking of you, thinking of you, I'm thinking of you. Wondering if you're thinking about me too. Now it's too late, now it's too late. I'm out of time, but I'm still thinking of you. We were young and we were free and running, never bothered about what could be coming. Every day we danced and life was smiling. We were young and drunk in love. A few years later I have started thinking, if it's just love in every glass I'm drinking, we're like one and without you I'm sinking. I'm always shining next to you. Oh, I got you, there's no reason to chasing pavement on my own, 'cause you're here to stay every night and day. I'm delighted 'cause I got you.
I have always been afraid of changes, but you show me life is full of faces. Sometimes clouds got in our favorite places, but we were young and unaware.
Oh, I got you, there's no reason to chasing pavement on my own, 'cause you're here to stay every night and day. I'm delighted 'cause I got you. La 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 la. I'm just fine 'cause I got you. Rain guiding my way before, pouring like a waterfall. I cried a million tears and more to find out where I belong. We're not young, but we're still free and running, and this day has never kept us bothering. Every day we dance and life's been smiling. We're not young, still drunk in love. Oh, I got you, there's no reason to chasing pavement on my own, 'cause you're here to stay every night and day. I'm delighted 'cause I got you. La 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 la. past midnight. Oh, I'm thinking about him. I have got him on my mind, but
So our decor is done in the bedroom. I am just going to real quick do the last touch that I like to do before I leave after decorating or cleaning a space, and that is spraying my favorite room spray, and mine is Driftwood Rose by Caldrea. If you guys have not smelled this before, check it out. This is 100% my favorite cleaning scent, and I'm just going to go ahead and give all the linens, obviously, a quick spritz, but also my fake plants. And that is a quick tip because A, it helps so they just smell and look vibrant and don't get that weird dusty appearance that fake plants can get, but also because they help to hold that crisp, delightful smell. So after this though, make sure to stay tuned because we are heading to the kitchen where we are going to bake up some oatmeal chocolate chip cookies, and this is a brand new recipe for me. I'm really excited to try it out, and of course we're going to be adding a little bit of Valentine's Day flair. If you haven't already hit that subscription button though, now's the time because this is just one of the wonderful episodes that I have planned for you guys, and I can't wait to share all the fun.
I have got him on my mind, but he doesn't know my name, and I'm running out of time. How wish he felt the same, and I'm acting stupid like every day. Don't know what to do or what I should say, 'cause I have got him on my mind, but he doesn't know my name. He doesn't know my name.
All right, let's talk cookies. So today we're going to be baking up some oatmeal chocolate chip cookies, and I found this recipe on Pinterest through a site called spaceshipandlaserbeams.com. Now, I've not ever tried these cookies before, and to give them a little bit of Valentine's Day flair, I'm adding a little bit of hot pink dye just to give them that sassiness that I love to have. So they're going to be pink oatmeal chocolate chip cookies. Now you will see that I have all of the different ingredients listed on the screen, but I'm going to leave the actual recipe to the magnificent creator themselves and have this recipe linked in the description bar. Now, I think that these turned out really yummy. I don't have any notes to share or things that I would change. You go ahead and start by mixing most of your dry ingredients, minus your chocolate chips and oatmeal, and set that aside, and then you cream your butter, eggs, and vanilla, and then start slowly adding in that dry mixture, just like you would with any kind of cookie. And then you follow up by adding that oatmeal last, and then coming in and folding in the chocolate chips. Now, I cooked these at 350 degrees for 13 minutes, and they were delicious, guys. I hope that you guys enjoy this recipe. Don't forget to check them out. And if you decide to leave a comment on spaceshipandlaserbeams.com to tell them how you liked the recipe, don't forget to let them know that I sent you their way.
Too far. Pick me up when I'm in pieces. Oh, that halfway heart of mine is a rolling stone. Make me roll right home. Halfway hard, halfway hard. Sing to me if I lose my voice. Is there a better route if I lose my course? Count on my company and I will come. Save me when I am falling. Save me when I am.
Okay, so our cookies are nice and cool. I absolutely love the way they turned out with that little pink flare. I feel like they're perfect for Valentine's Day. I'm excited to try these out. Oatmeal chocolate chip cookies are one of my absolute favorites.
Far. Pick me up when I'm in pieces. Oh, that halfway heart of mine is a rolling stone. Make me roll right home. Baby, I'm stuck with.
These were absolutely scrumptious. Definitely worth making again. I will be adding these to the recipe book of the things that I like to make. I will have the original recipe linked in the description bar down below. Don't forget to let me know if you guys decide to try these and take a picture and tag me on Instagram. I want to see if they work out for you. Or if you guys decide to make your own candle or put up your decor, I'd love to just see what you guys are up to. I hope you have an absolutely magical day, and thank you so much for hanging out with me. Toodles!
And a little love I'll make.